Public Libraries Family STEAM. My name is Sheila, and I'm so glad you joined me today. Today we are going to be talking about pumpkin density, or what I like to refer to as what sinks and what floats. All solids, liquids, and gases have density, and density is how heavy something is compared to its size. Objects sink if they have more density than the liquid or gas they are in, and float if they have less density than the liquid or gas they are in. Let's think about a chocolate ball that is solid chocolate versus a hollow chocolate ball. Which one do you think will sink in water? If you thought the solid chocolate ball, you're correct, because it has more density. But today we are going to use different parts of the pumpkin and to see which ones are densest. We have to make a density lab or a density column, and we're going to use corn syrup, water, and oil. For pumpkin density, you are going to need some vegetable oil, some corn syrup, a pumpkin, food coloring if you'd like, a measuring cup, and a glass or jar to do the density test. Well, let's get to our experiment. So right now I have added the corn syrup. I dyed it red, then I added water, and then I added oil. Now my jar is very big, so I used a cup of each. But if you have a smaller jar or a bigger jar, what you want to do is add a third of your glass with the corn syrup, a third with water, and a third with vegetable, in that order. Syrup, water, oil. And then on my plate, I have a part of the pumpkin, the insides, or what I like to call the guts, some pumpkin seeds, and a little bit of the stem. And then this is where you're going to need your paper and a pencil to write our experiment. So when we drop things, how do they fall in our density lab, in our density liquids? So let's try. I'm going to first try this piece of the pumpkin. Now that is floating in our olive oil. So think about how dense that is. Let's try some of these guts. Now they're just kind of floating on top of the oil, so not very dense. I'm going to try a piece of the pumpkin, a piece of the pumpkin stem, the top part. And that's also just floating on the water. I wonder if I needed a bigger pumpkin. So let's try some of these seeds and see what happens. Well, nothing seems to be floating or that dense in between my corn syrup, water, and oil. So everything's kind of hovering in the oil. So I wonder if that means that these parts of the pumpkin are not that dense, or maybe I needed a bigger part. I wonder if I had a bigger part of the pumpkin, it would fall all the way to the bottom because it was really dense. These are great things to think about when you're doing your experiment, and to record your ideas and maybe talk about it at home as a family on why things stayed in the different levels of the density. So thanks for coming today. I hope you had a good time, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.